Hey, what's up? This is Chuck D. All right. On the Real Off the Record, the name of the segment for the Real News Network. And I'm here to actually, give you a little bit of explanation on culture, also what's happening, the reasons why they happen in this world that we have, especially musically. And today I'm going to talk to a friend, a partner, but also somebody who's been deeply entrenched into the hip hop world. Is one by the name of DJ Johnny Juice, also known as John Rosado, and I'm here with him today on the Real Off the Record. And I don't know where I start with you other than the fact that hip hop is supposed to be the music of today, but at the same time with the election of Barack Obama, I've seen a lot of hands thrown in the air and respect for the Bruce Springsteens who's still relevant, the Bono who actually comes out and says something about the Israeli-Palestine conflict, if you want to call it that. What's happening in the Middle East. And so it seemed like other genres and other artists have been saying a whole lot about how the world and what the world is today, just like the old Temptations Ball of Confusion record. But, when I get some kind of feedback from the rap world, it seems to be less and less on a relevant level. Why?
Well, unfortunately, rap, has devolved into the me first, I gotta get mine, actually rap is an American music in every way because America's about the almighty dollar and that's what it's about.
So you say rap reflected, the Bush administration a little bit more than any other administration. I remember when rap was reflecting the Clinton administration and it still was, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, well, it reflected the Clinton administration as far as superficially, but as far as culturally, it's always been about what can I do for myself, and how can a rapper talk about something like the conflict in Palestine or the conflict anywhere, the Bosnian conflict or something that is happening in Darfur or anything like that, when they don't even know what's happening outside their 5-block radius in Brooklyn.
Yeah, well, they talk about Detroit being like maybe 30% vacant. I'm pretty sure Detroit rappers come out of there. Why wouldn't they talk about the vacancies in Detroit, all the ill that's going on in Detroit and Michigan, and where's the Michael Moore of the hip hop world today?
Well, again, like hip hop cats, I mean, I think they see it as, how can I get paid from saying something like that? The first thing they do is when they make a record is like, I gotta make money, and then they try to develop some kind of structure around that concept, as opposed to real art where you just say what you feel and then somebody else finds a way to exploit it. It's not the same thing. Now people are trying to exploit something they haven't even done yet.
Well, when they talk about Jay-Z, in one of the videos that he shot, I think a year and a half ago, he was like saying that he kind of like toasts to the euro instead of the American dollar, and they said that had some kind of like resonation across the financial landscape of a crumbling dollar in America last year. I mean, what do you have to say to that? Well,
you recognize that. And maybe I would recognize something like that. 99% of the people who ain't got no problems are not recognizing that.
No problems like what? More money, more problems, or no money, no problems?
I got 99 problems, but what ain't one.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, they're not paying attention to that. They probably glanced over that. I think the only thing that most rappers got out of that was like, yeah, son, euros. Okay, and euros what? Do they even know that the dollar was getting weaker? Do they know anything about money transfers? Have they even been outside of their own state, much less outside of the country? It doesn't affect them because they don't understand it.
So you're saying that, all right, well now with the whole Obama enthusiasm, Obama nation, how does one mix that with like maybe the incident I heard that had Jay-Z and Young Jeezy coming out and say, yeah, that's our president, back up, B, that's my net. And you know what I'm saying? How does that even mix? And then also you got the situation that a company wants to exploit the people, meaning they want to get money out of the people off the enthusiasm of the weekend. So you got the release of the Notorious B.I.G. movie, and you got the inauguration of Barack Obama. How does it fit? Is this supposed to be something that we just take everything in stride? I mean, is that diversity or is it balance? I mean, you tell me.
It's neither. It's the same old, same old. You just got somebody with a different color on top. Does that matter? The structure's still the same. It's still a two-party organization. There's still, a whole bunch of voices that haven't been heard. I mean, I was talking to Rosa Clemente recently, and I was mentioning to some of the other cats, and she was just voicing a displeasure with a lot of things. Obviously, I don't think anybody even knows that she was running. I mean,
there's a problem though, man, because isn't the TV ones and the BETs supposed to at least mention, what else is going on in the community?
But what else is going on in the community? We got the attention with Barack Obama. There he goes. They go out there. There go our key to advertising dollars. Now we can advertise that new McDonald's commercial that has the dope beat in the background that'll make these cats go out and buy a whole bunch of Happy Meals. It's all about how can we sell something to these people, and we can only sell it when we get them interested. How do we get them interested? Well, they're interested that there's a black man running for president. There was also 2 women running for president and vice president that happened to be running on a real hip-hop platform.
Wow.
That nobody gave a crap about.
Well, do you feel like sometimes in Rosa Clemente's case, she represents, the black and the Latino side, but do you notice that there's something to try to exploit the black and Latino wedge and even wedge the 2 sides further apart? Because it seems like, it seems like there are growing differences between the two, and somebody's wedging some sort of like political juxtaposition against it.
It's always happened.
And especially in hip hop, where Bambaataa comes out of the Bronx where it's black and brown equal.
Yeah, well, that's always happened. It's always happened in this country because the best way to keep people from actually forming and socializing and making these kind of network and these connections is by keeping them apart. The brown and the black struggle has always been very similar and follow parallel roots. From the Young Lords and the Black Panthers, and there was even a white political group that ran with the Young Lords and the Black Panthers that very seldom gets any mention. So there was a lot of people that had the same struggle and the same kind of problems to try to come to the same conclusion, but it would never happen because the government plays each other against everybody. It helps them maintain their control.
What is the Hip Hop Nation today? Who is the Hip Hop Nation? And how do they get, how do they happen to get the information that's going to help them? I mean, what do you see in the near future, especially in this next 4 years? Because really, as everybody's talking about economic difficulties, the community's been having the economic difficulties all decade long. Now, this is just, happen to be that white folks now losing their money. Now, all of a sudden, this becomes something that does hip-hop answer to that? And how do people in the hip-hop generation, get out of the bling and the shine and to dealing with their realities? Well,
the problem, that's you just mentioned a very big word, realities. People haven't delved into the reality of any of this since maybe the late 70s, early 80s. At one time, rappers could talk about how hard they had it, but they didn't talk about it with a pride. They talked about it as a way of bringing it out and trying to find a way to overcome it, but everybody knew, I didn't have hot water, or damn, I didn't get my paycheck this week. Now there's a shame that's involved in talking about those things. So people don't want to mention how bad they have it. They want to mention how much money they have, even though they have no money. Want to mention how they're popping bottles, even though they can't afford to get in the club that night. The economy's bad, everybody knows it, and there's only so long a facade could last before somebody says, you're all full of crap, and that's got to stop. Unfortunately, we haven't reached full rock bottom yet. As a people, we will, but unfortunately, when that happens, this usually involves, bars and chains around your arms and legs, and that's why you have these people that come out of jail. All of a sudden, they find religion, or they find God, or they find some redeeming, way of living the rest of their lives. Why can't you find that before you get to the point where you're in jail, or somebody gets killed, or unfortunately you get killed? It's always a too late scenario thing. It's always too late. And by that time, you're trying to convince your boys, they're not trying to listen until they get into that situation.
We got more talk with the profound DJ Johnny Juice Rosado when we return on The Real Off the Record on the Real News Network. All right, stay tuned, keep it locked.